It's really wonderful to stand in front of you today and to be able to speak to you. I have been asked to speak about the first year experience. So let me start off by also congratulating you on making it in and on selecting the University of Johannesburg. But the first year experience is an initiative that we have at the university. And before I actually tell you a little bit about what we do, I think the most important aspect of the first year experience is to say that it is an experience had by a first year student coming to university. Okay, so could I ask the Orange Carpet Campaign students to make sure you listen for the next 3 minutes? I'm going to keep mine short. But I think it's crucial for you to understand that in the next year, you've heard about the first 6 months, and I agree with that fully. But in the next year, you're going to have the experience of a lifetime. You're going to have the experience of a first year student, and you'll only have it once. And therefore, I want to say a few things about it. I would like to start with a bit of an analogy. Right at this moment, Bafana are playing in the African Cup of Nations, and if you're a sports lover like I am, you will know that the national cricket team, the Proteas, will be playing in the World Cup a little bit later this year, and so will the rugby team, the Springboks. They'll be playing in the World Cup too. So we've got 2 World Cups and an African Cup of Nations all in 1 year. If you don't have DSTV like I don't, that's a problem. But the reason I'm mentioning that is to say, making the national team is a big deal. It's really a big deal. It's not like anything that you've done before. And I would like you to imagine for a moment walking onto the training field for the first time after you saw your name in the paper, after you got the call from the coach to say, you've made the team, congratulations. Now you're going to arrive there with your kit bag that will not have the national colors on it yet. It'll probably be from your club or your school. And you will arrive at this training ground seeing the players that you've only watched on television, seeing the people that you've admired, and you'll be walking onto the field with them. Now, when you get selected for a national team, you get selected based on potential and previous performance at the previous highest level where you had an opportunity to compete. On that potential and previous performance, you get selected and you move into that team. But the fact of the matter is, to be in the team is something completely different than being selected for the team. Now you're going to have to train with the other players, and you're going to have to you're going to actually be able to play with the best in your country, and you're going to be able to compete with the best in the world, trying to beat them. If you don't know it yet, university is the highest level of academic challenge and achievement that you can have. There is nothing higher. There is nowhere higher for you to go. So, congratulations, you have made the national team academically by coming to university. That is massive. I think that the big thing, however, that I would like to say is, you're walking into the national team dressing room with your school kit bag. And what you must know is that when you make the national team, you will have to be fitter and more skilled and more committed than you've ever been in your life. You will have to take a huge step up for you to ensure that you succeed. In many sports, when you get selected for the team, you don't get the full kit. They don't give you everything right at the beginning. They give you the kit bag and they give you a few things, but you first have to play a match for you to actually get the last thing. In cricket, they'll give you the cap as you walk onto the field. In rugby, I know they give you the jacket only once you've actually played your first game. The same is true for you. You're getting into the national team today, and you're going to take us to the World Cup. But could I ask you to please not underestimate the challenge that is laying in front of you? We have laid a massive challenge in front of you, and we're very proud to be able to do that because this is the highest level that you can achieve. Nationally, students coming into university find it very difficult. I'm not going to hide that from you. I think it's really important to know. If you've been reading the national newspapers, you will know that students find it very difficult to come to university. Now, I know what the natural thing is, oranges. You're going to think, yes, a shame, the poor guy next to me is going to find it difficult. No, no, no. It's probably going to be you too. It is going to be really difficult coming to university. The university recognizes that, and we spend millions, literally millions of rands on preparing an environment in which you have all the support and all the opportunities that we can provide for you to succeed. But the one thing that is non-negotiable is the high level of academic excellence that we expect and that we require for you to succeed. When we spend this money to support, you've heard the Vice-Chancellor say we have 50,000 students. I think one of the main challenges for us is to ensure that you get that support if you require it. Now, as an institution, we have put 2 programs in place to make sure that the support structures for you are coordinated in the best possible way. The one is called the First Year Experience Initiative at the University of Johannesburg. We recognize the transition from school to higher education as probably the biggest single transition a student has to make academically ever in their career. It's probably the biggest one. And we know that transitions are difficult. People find them difficult because they have to adjust and adapt and find their feet again to actually succeed in a transition. And therefore, UJ in 2010 established the First Year Experience Initiative, where we coordinate and initiate efforts to ensure that you are supported in the best possible way. This is, at the moment, definitely the leading First Year Experience Initiative in the country. And it encompasses a variety of different things. It encompasses senior students, as you've heard about, tutors, senior tutors, assistant lecturers. It encompasses the lecturing staff, the academics, the support staff. The Academic Development Center that I lead is involved in that, which includes literacies, learning development, and a variety of other things that we put in place to try and ensure that you succeed. That is the first big transition, and I think if you can make a success of that, your chances of succeeding for the rest increase immensely. But we also know that there are subsequent transitions. It doesn't end there. There's more. Once you go into second and third year and fourth year, if that's the type of qualification you have, a 4-year qualification or honors, there are more transitions for you. And as a result, last year we initiated something called the Senior Student Experience, where we try and focus on both of these, the first year experience and the senior student experience. We try and focus our academic gaze on these challenges that you face. And we try and make sure that we support you through these challenges the best way that we possibly can. This has culminated in UJ actually being awarded money by the Department of Higher Education and Training to establish a national resource center for the first year experience. And that is being established as we speak and will be up and running within the next few months, so that we can actually support the country when it comes to thinking about first year students and subsequent years and the transitions that students face. Now, you will hear during your first year seminar about all the different support services that are available. Please listen closely, make some notes. If you don't need them at the moment, you might need them at a later point. But with 50,000 students, it becomes incredibly difficult for us to recognize you as being in trouble if things were to go wrong. And therefore, it's really important that you see all of these support services that are available and different ways of helping you succeed, and make sure that you are ready to access them when you need them. Let me give you some advice. I've been working here for 11 years, so the whole of the time that UJ has existed, and 1 year before that. And my area of speciality is student transitions and first year student success. So, first year students, oranges, as you've been called today. Let me give you just 5 points of advice, very quickly. Firstly, please enjoy the moment and enjoy your time at university. Please enjoy it. It is fantastic. We have gathered together for you the top 10 to 12% of the young people in this country so that you can meet and greet and discuss and possibly even date some of them, okay? It is a wonderful opportunity. We've done the pre-selection for you. Please enjoy it. The second thing, however, in conjunction with this enjoyment, please take charge of your own life. Please take charge. Please take it as your own and do what is required for you to succeed. You will have to be open to be challenged, and you will have to be open to change, because that will be required as part of being at a university. And then the last 2 from me, bits of advice. Could I ask you to please ask for help if you need it? Okay. Could I please ask you to get over yourself, get over your pride, and if you need the assistance, to please approach us so that we can assist you. And please don't wait too long. Okay, because if you come too late, it is very difficult to assist you. If you're finding the transition difficult, please come earlier rather than later. We would rather tap you on the back and say, no, it's not as serious as you thought. You can continue, you're doing fine, than to see you too late and all we could do is actually say, sorry, there's not much we can do for you at this point, it's too late. So please, oranges, ask if you run into trouble and ask early. And then the last point from me, The only resource that is distributed 100% equally amongst all of you, even in this selected venue, is time. All the other resources are distributed unequally, but the one that is distributed equally is time. Please make sure that you use this time that you've been given productively, because that is what's going to determine your success, if you're able to do that. I really hope to see you all succeed. I hope to see you on the Dean's List that you've heard about. I hope to see you in the Eugenius Club. We need that. When I say we, I mean the university, yes, you as a family and as a community, but the country needs that. We need you to succeed, and we look forward to seeing that happen. I'm going to end up with a quote from a very unlikely source. I'm actually going to quote a guy called Louis L'Amour. Now, Louis L'Amour is actually a cowboy book writer, and I'm not big into cowboy books. I've actually not read any of his cowboy books, to be honest. But I accidentally found one of his books that is about the Middle Ages. And the book is about a specific character. Maturin is his name. And he comes through very difficult circumstances, and he has this massive adventure, the same type of adventure that is now lying ahead of you. And after having faced all of these challenges and come up from where he actually came from, this character in the book says something which I think sums up perfectly for me what you are faced with as first-year students and even as being part of the Orange Carpet campaign. So I'm going to read the quote. It's in the male. It's a male character. But ladies, this is as applicable to any gender. It makes absolutely no difference what your gender, your race, your age, any of this. I think this is the truth for where you are right at this minute. So I'm going to read it as it is. What Maturin says is the following. Up to a point, a man's life is shaped by the environment, heredity, and the movements and changes in the world about him. Then there comes a day when it lies within his grasp to shape the clay of his life into the sort of thing he wishes it to be. And I would contend now, today is that day. Then there comes a day, and today is that day, when it lies within your grasp to shape the clay of your life into the sort of thing you wish it to be. Only the weak blame their parents, their race, their times, their lack of good fortune or quirks of fate. Everyone has it within his power to say, this I am today, that I shall be tomorrow. This wish, however, must be implemented by deeds. We really look forward to seeing you make your wishes come true. Thank you very much.